Yes, yes, yes. Settle down, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your post-match presser of Crystal Palace 1, Graham Potter's Magical Blues 2. A mental game. Lots of stuff happened. We're going to talk about it today in the press conference. But ultimately, academy product brought back from loan and new striker signing, Gallagher and Aubameyang respectively, scoring. And seeing Chelsea win 2-1. Maybe Thiago Silva should have been sent off. We're going to talk about player performances and all sorts of stuff. Look, boys and girls, let's see if we can get the microphones up. If you could subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would be very nice. And I appreciate all of you dropping likes and commenting in the comment section down below. Thank you, press. Get the microphones out of here. Get them out of here. So, yes, absolutely mental game. I think I'm slightly too big for this desk. Let's have a quick gander here. Can I? There we go. Maybe like that. Sweet. Yeah, absolutely mental game. Chelsea changed formation and went with a back four. People were speculating that Raheem Sterling would be at left wing back again, and that maybe Chilwell would be tucking in at left centre-back. But no, ladies and gentlemen, we played like a 4-2-2-2, and we made 4 substitutions. Graham Potter's substitutions proving to be important in the end, and changed the game, really. A difficult watch at times, maybe in terms of cohesion from Chelsea, but it was an exciting game for a multitude of reasons. And I'm pretty pleased with a lot of stuff that happened. We're going to talk about it today. Chelsea lined up, like I said, with a 4-2-2-2. Edouard Mendy's still injured, so we had Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, who, by the way, is making a serious case for first choice keeper. He not only did he make good saves, he claimed a cross. And that was one of, Kepa's weaknesses, why we got in Mendy in the first place. Although we'll talk about player performance shortly, but he does have an erratic nature about him. Thiago Silva got himself a yellow card, should have possibly been a red, as well as getting an assist. Wesley Fofana partnered him as a 2 centre-back tactics formation, where the fullbacks were the Champions League final winning fullbacks in Reece James, Flames, for me our best player still. And of course Ben Chilwell over Marc Cucurella. We played Jorginho and Kovacic in the double 6, and then Mason Mount and Kai Havertz in the sort of number 10, so we had like a box midfield. And of course, after watching Kai Havertz play so well for Germany when he moved into a number 10, when he moved from the striker to the number 10, a lot of people were pleased to see this. Oh, okay, well now he's going to occupy a similar place for Chelsea as he's been doing for Germany and looking so good. Partnering Mason Mount, who I didn't think had a good game at all. And then we had a strike partnership of Aubameyang on the left side and Raheem Sterling on the right side. Of course, Aubameyang for Arsenal played a lot of left wing as well as centre forward, so to play left striker does make a lot of sense. And Raheem Sterling playing right forward. Now, in the 7th minute, we concede a goal. And this, of course, is the Crystal Palace goal. And it's a Fofana mistake earlier in the phase of play. He passes to an opposition player, and in a couple of... It's not an error directly leading to a goal. I'm looking at who scored now, and it's not listing it as that. But it is certainly an error, and it's a great goal. Like the Jordan Ayew assisting an Odsonne Edouard finish, the way he ghosts in and hits it, it's actually just a really nice Crystal Palace assist and finish off, a high turnover of possession, which was a mistake from Wesley Fofana. But just to repeat, it wasn't an error leading to goal directly. God, I need to put some oil on the chair. So 7th minute, we're up against it. And of course, in the 33rd minute, there's that Thiago Silva handball where he, gets fouled or thinks he's fouled and, hits the ball away with his hand. I was on the phone to an advisor at the time, even so I had to mute it for those 2 minutes, though Twitter tells me he should have gone. Take this opportunity and comment down below, should he have been sent off, and let me know, because it sounds like he should have been, but of course, and he went on to get the all-important equalising assist 5 minutes later. So that was in the 33rd minute. In the 38th minute, he gets up in the final third, wins an aerial, heads it to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on his Premier League debut. Mate, it's a freaking wicked goal. It's a proper striker's goal. I thought he chest turns and volleys, but he doesn't even. He just watches it. He moves his body around, some sort of like Neo Matrix style, and just volleys it into the ground. And they're so hard to save when you header or kick into the ground or volley into the ground for the goalkeeper, because they don't know where to like position themselves to save it. Really great goal. And in the 38th minute, it is 1-1. And this game, it's high octane, it's high pressing, but it's not necessarily high quality. And often at times, it was a difficult watch. It was such an attacking lineup from Patrick Vieira. I think he deserves a great amount of credit here. He played like a front three of Zaha, Odson Eduardo, of course, like a new striker signing, and Eze up front, and then they had like Elise and Ayew in midfield, and Ayew's played striker before. There was like 5 forwards essentially in the front 6, which is pretty wild, man. Like, I feel like he deserves a great deal of credit, Patrick Vieira, for going with this ambitious style of play. Of course, they had Roy Hodgson before that used to stink the gaff out. He probably just saw Chelsea not stable at the moment, new manager, first Premier League game under the new manager, and this was an opportunity to see what we're all about. Of course, Nathaniel Klein, just before the end of the half, has that injury where he had to get stretchered off, so we wish him all the best, of course. No one wants to see that in football. Hopefully it's not too serious, but I didn't see the severity of the injury. Second half starts. I don't think we made any substitutions in the second half, but Mason Mount gets booked in the 52nd minute. I don't think it was a disaster. We're going to go through performances in just a minute, but I wasn't very impressed with Mason Mount. Jorginho comes off after he looks like he's been a little bit knocked, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes on. I actually saw a lot of people criticising Jorginho, but I didn't think he was particularly bad in comparison to anyone. Some subs happen for Crystal Palace, and then in the 75th minute, of course we're still drawing, Breuer comes on for Aubameyang. That's what we want to see, Aubameyang getting his goal, and then, the hungry, young, tenacious Armando Breuer, the young striker, getting a good chunk, 15-20 minutes, to show what he's all about. Sadly, he didn't really do much of that, but I tell you someone who did, who was substituted on in the same time, Conor Gallagher for Kai Havertz. So Conor Gallagher, of course, last season, he was at loan at Crystal Palace, and at this point, we've got a double six, or we've got two midfielders that were on loan at Crystal Palace at some point, in Ruben Loftus-Cheek and, of course, Conor Gallagher. We're drawing with chances both ends. It feels like this is just going to end a draw, or maybe Palace is going to nick it. We're not Raheem Sterling started well, but he started fading. There's a double change in the 84th minute for Palace. We bring on Pulisic for Mount. Kovacic gets booked in the 88th minute for being on the floor and pulling Elise's ankle. What is he doing? Like, he's obviously wound up. And again, I don't think Kovacic was very good in this game. And in the 90th minute, cometh the man, cometh the hour, riddled in narrative. Of course, the commentators on the broadcast were even saying, you can imagine if Conor Gallagher comes on and scores the winner. Not only did he score the winner, it was a ruddy worldie, mate. It was an absolute blinding goal. Christian Pulisic apparently has got the assist. I think Pulisic, did well, made a nuisance of himself. I think he might be a little bit lucky to get this assist, because I don't think he deliberately passed it out of his feet to Gallagher. But Gallagher received the ball, that touch to set himself around the player before he takes the standing shot on is sublime, and he just rockets it, long range drive, top bins. Gaeta, who's a great goalkeeper, gets a touch to it, but it goes top bins, and that's the 90th minute, and we see out 4 minutes of stoppage time to secure all 3 points at Selhurst Park, which is like the conventional, the quintessential hard place to go, though Chelsea generally have had a really, really good record against Crystal Palace, and we haven't had a draw with them since 94, 95, the commentary team was saying. And the ref blows up. And of course, Gallagher doesn't celebrate the winning goal, which is nice and respectful. But ultimately, we had the better of it. We had 13 shots to their 7, 65% possession. We had a better passing rate. They had a couple more dribbles than us, but of course, they've got Elise, Zaha, Eze. They're all ball carriers. They won more tackles, but it's going to happen when they've got less of the ball. It was a close game. It was pretty dramatic dramatic and entertaining. Lots of work to be done for Graham Potter, but he will be very thankful that he's gone away in a London derby and secured all 3 points on his first Premier League game. And, you know, Aubameyang, the elite striker, the senior striker, scoring on his debut. He'll be pleased with that. He utilised all 5 substitutions, I believe, certainly 4, which is great. He gets to utilise his big squad. This is something he didn't have at Brighton. But by the way, meanwhile, Brighton, Leandro Trossard scoring a hat-trick against Liverpool, who, by the way, has been linked to Chelsea, so that might come up again. But let's talk about player performances. I want to talk about it. I think Kepa was excellent. He doesn't... When you watch him, you don't feel safe. And remember when Mendy came in, you just suddenly feel like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about the goalkeeper. And Mendy brought that with him, and then we were all like, rightly singing his praises. But with Kepa, you don't feel safe. But it's because he's got like an erratic nature, but he played well. He's better with his feet, clearly. He's making good saves, and he claimed a cross. Very, very happy with Kepa. Thiago Silva, of course, I guess we got lucky with him. I'm looking forward to reading the comments on his handball. I thought he was very good, the assist. I thought, again, apart from his handball and apart from Fofana's, you know, pass to opposition early doors, which led to the opposition goal, I think they were both very good. Obviously, they'll speak French to each other in the centre-back partnership, so they can, like, communicate well. It worked as a back two. I think Reece James and Chilwell, somehow, who scored the graphic I'm looking at, has given Chilwell a higher rating than Reece James. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think most of the midfielders were poor. We got done in the midfield. I don't think Kovacic was good. I don't think Jorginho was good. I don't think Mason Mount was good, even though Who Scored's given him a good rating here, well, a semi-good rating. I don't agree with that. Maybe he got some shots off or whatever. Sterling started well. He hit the woodwork, obviously. He defaded. That's the thing with Sterling. He can look like the main man in the game. Like, everything goes through him. He's going to run everywhere. He's going to press. But he can go missing, essentially. And he did that at City. He's still obviously a very, very useful player, but that's the sort of thing about Sterling. Gallagher came on, scored an absolute worldie. What can you say about him? You know, Aubameyang scored. I mean, both Chelsea's goals were absolutely litty. Pulisic got his chance late on. He was effective. Kai Havertz has got a 6.7 on Who Scored, which is pretty generous. I think he was good, but ultimately all of these players, front to back, except maybe not the fullbacks because of how they play already. But all these players, if we're going to play a 4-2-2-2, which sort of turns into a 4-2-3-1, these players are going to have to learn to play together, and they're going to have to develop and gain chemistry again, which will happen, and then their own personal games will develop and look better. But it's a massive win, really, away at Selhurst Park. We didn't know what Potter's Chelsea was going to look like. It's not perfect. 3 points against what was a really ambitious and looking like a well-coached Crystal Palace team under Patrick Vieira. I'm pretty happy about it. But I'm keen to learn what you guys think, so please do comment your thoughts, feelings, and opinions down in the comment section below. And thanks for everyone who interacts with the videos, like dropping likes and subbing and stuff like that. Man, it's been wild. I'm feeling good, though, and I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Peace.